Greetings and welcome back, lords and ladies, to StarduskLP Game Talk, specifically Skyrim news. Monumental Skyrim news, in fact. Yes, this is about as monumental as you can get. Now, for those of you who are aficionados, fans, supporters, even acolytes of High Lord Tendo, who is the young programmer, creator of SkyrimRedone, I have some very interesting news for you. There will be a SkyrimRedone 2.0, although he's not calling it that. In fact, he's calling it Perkus Maximus, or if you want to be more specific, using the Latin pronunciation, Perkus Maximus. Perkus Maximus, in his own words, is a mod specifically focused on combat and perks. The reason why he's doing this, in his own words, once again, I'll be posting links in the description box to the relevant article as well as his Fakebook page, which charts his progress, is that when he first began SkyrimRedone, it started off as a perk overhaul mod and quickly grew into something that he was able to manage, but was so vast in its content, with tendrils reaching out, covering virtually every area of the game, that it almost became overwhelming. And he, as I said, by his own admission, was a rookie at the time. Now, clearly, Tendo has great talent. He has innate, inborn talent for this stuff, and he's trained as a programmer, a computer scientist. But SkyrimRedone, he feels, at least in the perk and combat area, could be sufficiently refined. However, because SkyrimRedone is so vast and encompasses so much, he thought it'd be much better to start off with a completely new project. Of course, in the beginning, this was called the next big thing. The acronym of which, TNBT, he maintained for quite some time under wraps, until the dawning of the new year, in which we are currently. And he said, this is what it's called. Most likely Perkus Maximus. Who knows? Maybe he'll change it. But in many ways, it is an extension of SkyrimRedone, but solely and strictly for the sake of perks and combat. Now, he might change the name regarding that. Now, you can check out all of this on his page, on his article, and on Fakebook. But in summary, he feels he can do a better job at what he had done before. And initially, whilst I was somewhat skeptical about this, I'm fully confident he can as well. Now, one of the reasons why I'm at this point in time confident is he said that he has gathered so much experience from making SkyrimRedone, his familiarity with the Papyrus scripting system, with Bethesda software, this Bethesda software creation kit, and he's going to really turn it into a much more role-playing intensive, by his own words, experience. So a couple of things I'll mention, and you should check it out yourself. This is one example. Something he felt was kind of a dead end in his original perk overhaul on SkyrimRedone. The idea of percentage syncing, as he calls them, syncs, for percentages. Put perk in level 3 light weaponry, does 10% more damage, heavy 20, light armor, alchemy, so on and so forth. Now, he wants to overhaul that. He wants to make perks more relevant, more interesting. And so the damage output, or your skill, or the efficacy of your, say, potions will be tied into your actual skill level, which it had always been partially tied into, as opposed to merely percentage sinks that you put perk points in. The other thing he's going to do is get rid of the 150 cap for perks. Most of the maximum perks will require 100. I don't know how I feel about that, but, wait and see how that turns out. I'm not quite sure. But it sounds interesting. The project sounds very ambitious, and I think he can pull it off. He clearly has a lot of talent. He's got a good sense of humor, and he's dedicated, and he's studied this stuff. But then again, of course, those of us who've kind of grown to love SkyrimRedone, well, I'm not really too sure at the end of the day how we're going to react to things that might be missing. Maybe he stated there'll be fewer perks than SkyrimRedone, but many more than in vanilla. Okay. It's not compatible with SkyrimRedone, which begs the question. I think what he means is the combat and perk system is not compatible with SkyrimRedone. Perhaps Perhaps the racial bonuses are, perhaps the standing stones are, the AI perhaps is, I hope. So we'll just have to wait and see. But there's always a risk when an author moves on to a new project of a similar bent that he implements things that we don't like, and vice versa. I mean, but clearly, Skyrim Redone, as momentous, as incredible, as colossal a project as it's been, there are some issues with it. Certain perks don't work. Dual casting illusion does not work on undead. It just doesn't work. This has been thoroughly investigated. It doesn't work. Bastard sword perks do not work to a certain extent. Katana perks do not work. Nordic and Stalrim bleeding perks for hatchets and war axes do not work, and so on and so forth. So there are a number of issues in Skyrim Redone which have never been addressed, understandably. Such a massive project, or has been, that perhaps might be addressed in this up-and-coming project or mod called Perkus Maximus for the time being. It might as well be Skyrim 2.0. Skyrim Reloaded. I like the concept Skyrim Reloaded personally. I'm probably refer to it henceforth as such, but excitement on the horizon. I smell greatness in the air. And as far as the ETA is concerned, I believe he gave an ETA roughly of about half a year or a few months. He said it's about halfway done, 50% done. So who knows? We'll have to be patient. And patience is not a virtue for everyone, but we'll just have to wait and see. However, if you do enjoy the Skyrim Redone, you like his mods, do follow him on Fakebook and check it out and show him your support. I think motivation, as he himself has stated, is often not often wanting, but certainly it's difficult to keep motivation up. I know this from other projects. So if you show that you're interested, if you show that you would like him to see this to the end and do a good job, then showing him a bit of support and love couldn't hurt at all. Anyway, interesting stuff. A smoothing, a refining, a streamlining of Skyrim Redone. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm fascinated by this, and I think anyone who has a similar interest and fascination with Skyrim Redone and Skyrim in general will feel the same. Truly a monumental project, and just wait and see. Until the next time, though, may the gods watch over you, and everyone take care. Bye-bye.